Bless up my viewers and all of my subscribers. Welcome back to JN News channel. Right now, quick and fast, want to know if you continue like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section or the flag from the country where you're viewing from. So with no further ado, let us get into it. Witness 2 says cops were involved in gun buying with clangs. A self-styled farmer Dan has testified that at least 2 police officers were involved in gun transaction involving the Spanish Town St. Catherine base one Dan fraction of the Klansman gang. Starling claims was made when the witness was being cross-examined by the offense lawyer Kemar Robinson, who represent Dwayne Salman, one of the 33 accused persons in the ongoing Klansman gang trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. According to the witness, Salman alleged role in the criminal network was to repair firearms. Further, the accused, the witness said, was a dealer in illegal guns and ammunition. Those were provided by the witness when Robinson sought to get clarity on which community in Spanish Town 2 firearms were allegedly purchased by the witness from Salman. The ex-gangster said he made an error relative to the location he gave in his statement to the police. He then went on to tell the court that a member of the Jamaica Constable Force JCF has given the gang money to purchase an illegal firearm. Additionally, another police officer, the witness allegedly, was at the location where the illegal weapon was bought. Meanwhile, defense lawyer Kemisha Mito, who represent defendant Brian Morris alias Rooster, suggested that the witness lied when he testified that he saw her client kill a deportee called Rasta in Jones Avenue, Spanish Town. According to Minto, the witness only knew about the murder through pictures that were shown to him by investigators. Additionally, she put it to the witness that he was not at the scene of the crime. But the prosecution witness, a former gangster, continued that he was at the scene of the crime and he saw Morris with the gun that used to kill Rasta. He, however, admitted that the police showed him photographs in order to identify the deceased. Those photographs, he said, were shown to him after he decided to turn against members of the one Dan faction of the Klansman gang, including an alleged leader, Andre Blackman Brian. Previously, the witness testified that Brian allegedly instructed Morris on how he was to use the gun in committing the crime. Brian, the witness said, told Morris that he should hold the bottom of the gun because the clip, the magazine, was slack. The witness said on the day of the killing, he saw Morris pull the gun from his waistband and started to fire at Rasta. However, the magazine fell from the gun and another gangster called Stennett ran to the victim and shot him, the witness claimed. Morris eventually placed the clip back in place and continued to fire at Rasta before he and another gangster fled from the scene by running to a lane and escaped to Shelter Rock, the witness further testified. At that point of the day proceedings, all the defendants' lawyers had completed their cross-examination of the prosecution's second witness, but the prosecution recalled the witness and made an application to the trial judge, Chief Justice Brian Sykes, to have photographs showing of the deceased known as Rasta. The prosecution argued that their intention was to have the witness identify the person who was shot and killed on January 14, 2018 in Jones Avenue, St. Catherine. Asked by Sykes whether the prosecution would be relying on another witness to identify the deceased, one of the prosecutors said there was no one else. The judge asked again No police on the scene will be coming to give evidence on Rastaman's death. No, my lord, responded the prosecution. Sykes further queried whether the prosecution had any other evidence to support the Rastafarian killing, and the prosecutor again said they did not have anything else. No police, photograph, relative, or not even someone to say that they went to Jones Avenue and said they saw a body. The judge quiz. It was at the point that Sykes indicated that he had doubts regarding that usefulness of prosecution showing the witness the photograph. In response, the prosecutor said the purpose was to have the witness identify the person he said was killed. The prosecutor also claimed that the inference can be drawn whether it was the same victim with the witness testified who was killed was one in the photograph. However, Sykes said the evidence was not substantial at the stage of the trial to suggest that the witness knew the victim and could properly identify the deceased. So far, the witness had only given testimony to suggest that he signed a photograph of the victim when he was alive. On that basis, the application was rejected to show the photograph of the deceased Rastafarian to be identified by the witness. The re-examination of the witness ended at the point, but the prosecution is expected to recall the witness to testify about recording he made an alleged gangster at the later date. A third prosecution witness is to be testify on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the defendant are expected to receive lunch from their relatives daily after they are searched by the police officers. The 1 hour lunch break is also to be extended by another 30 minutes after several defendants complained bitterly to the judge, Chief Brian Sykes, about the quality of the meals being served to them, as well as the refusal of the police to give them the meals carried to court by their relatives. Before the decision of the judge was made, he gave the defendant an opportunity to elaborate on their plights relatives to their meals. The defendants who spoke alleged that the police have been assisting meals sent by their family members. One of the accused men, Tyree James, told the judge that other accused not connected to the trial are allowed to have their meals provided by their relatives. However, he claimed that the law enforcers are not allowing the defendant to receive their meals. At the same time, 5 other accused similar sentiments, adding that not even dog or ants would want to eat the meal they were given by the police. Some of the men, including Brian and other men who sported dreadlocks, said they were vegetarians and required special meal. The lone female at the trial, Stephanie Christie, alias Muma, a pastor from St. Thomas, also joined the chorus pleading for her to be able to accept meals properly prepared by her relatives. Right now, I'm going to stop it right there, so. Because I want to say something right now. My viewers and my sub, them people here, sit down, I worry about meals, good food and good this and that. Them want to receive good prepare food and all of this. Uno never know say when the dog reach yes so when uno make so much people lose them life. Eh? So much people lost them life along the way. All this a woman here will claim to say she a pastor. We transport firearm and tell the man them who fi take out and who not fi take out. Uno never know say when I go reach us so. For all I care, uno coulda not get no food. Uno fi hungry. But if you was a sub, leave your thoughts and your comments in the comment section upon that one. Let's get back to this thing. To make her point, she said the meal from her family would be the only cooked meal that she would receive, as she is transported to court daily before breakfast and arrives at the lockup after dinner has passed. It reposed to the myriad of issues. A superintendent assigned to the court admit that there were challenges. The officer said the inmate would be allowed to receive meal from their family members effective Tuesday, after pointing out that the lunch hour required an extension to facilitate the meals being searched. Sykes made an order providing extension. Christy, Brian, along with the other 33 accused, are on trial. Brian and his co-accused have all pleaded not guilty to charges against them. The men and woman have been charged with multiple offenses, including being a part of a criminal organization.